Ever wondered how your life would be different if Genghis Khan never existed? Let's take a moment to imagine a world where the Great Khan, the Mongolian warlord who carved out the largest contiguous empire in history, was simply a figment of our collective imagination. Without him, the Mongol Empire, that vast expanse stretching from the Pacific to the heart of Europe, would be nothing more than a page left blank in our history books. A world map without the sprawling Mongol Empire might seem a bit empty, wouldn't it? But hold your horses, or in this case your Mongolian steppe ponies, because the absence of Genghis Khan could have dramatically reshaped the world as we know it. Think about it. Countries like Poland and Hungary, which spent centuries under the shadow of Mongol invasions, would have had a chance to develop without this looming threat. Imagine a Poland and Hungary flourishing uninterrupted, their cultures and societies evolving in ways we can only speculate about. And what about the rest of Europe? Without the Mongol Empire acting as a buffer, European empires might have been more inclined to directly confront each other. Picture a Europe even more embroiled in conflict, alliances shifting like the sands of the Gobi Desert, as empires vied for control of territories and resources. In the East, the story is different. Nations like China and Persia might have had the freedom to pursue their own course of development, without the constant disruptions of Mongol invasions. It's possible that this could have led to faster technological and cultural advancements in these regions. So, without Genghis Khan, we might have seen a world where Europe is a battleground for supremacy, while Eastern Europe is a peaceful haven. And Asia? Well, it might have been a hotbed of innovation, leading the world in technological and cultural advancements. Confused? Let's dive a bit deeper. After all, history, or in this case alternate history, is rarely straightforward, so buckle up. We're about to embark on a journey through a world that never was, but could have been. Without the Mongol Empire, the Silk Road might have been just a dirt path. Now let's paint a picture. Imagine instead of a grand highway of cultural and economic exchange, we had a less traveled dirt road. Europe and Asia, two continents with rich histories, might have been more isolated from each other. Now, on to Asia. Picture China and Persia, two ancient civilizations free to chart their own course without the constant threat of Mongol invasions. This freedom could have spurred a more rapid pace of development, both technologically and culturally. In this alternate reality, China might have been the birthplace of the printing press centuries before Gutenberg, and Persia could have been a hub of scientific and mathematical advancements. And while all this was happening, Europe might have been engaged in constant power struggles, too busy fighting for resources to focus on innovation. So, while Europe could have been busy with wars, Asia might have been leading the tech race. Kind of like a medieval version of Silicon Valley. Ever heard of the Russian bear? Well, in this alternate history, it could have been more of a cub. Without the Mongol Empire's influence, Russia may not have stretched its claws as far eastward. This shift would have significantly altered the geopolitical dynamics of Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Imagine, if you will, a world where Russia, the colossal Eurasian power we know today, was instead a more localized force. The nations in its periphery, from Poland to Kazakhstan, might have had a chance to grow and flourish without the looming shadow of the Russian bear. Instead of the intense power dynamics we see in our timeline, these regions could have seen a more balanced distribution of power, leading to a completely different landscape of international relations. So, a world without Genghis Khan could have given us a quieter Russia, a tech-savvy Asia, and a Europe busy with power struggles. Now, isn't that a history lesson you'd want to study?